Hello world, Peter's Cardboard here, and this is the video you've all been waiting for. Today we are going to look at some fake cards. I made a video on the red dot test probably a couple of months ago, and one of the comments was, so what should you really look for fake cards? And I've honestly never encountered any fake cards in my time buying and selling Magic, so it is extremely rare. I mean, I've seen other people having proxies, but that's it. I've never bought a card which turned out to be fake, and of course that could mean that I never figured it out. And I must admit, after looking at these cards, it is quite hard to tell, especially if you do not have the background, the usual Magic background. So some of these cards, they have a backside which isn't with the mana symbols and all that. They have both back and front. So 4 of these cards are fake, and 4 of these cards are real Magic cards. So authentic Magic cards. And we're going to do some tests on these. I'm not going to tell you where I bought these from. I'm not against proxies, but I don't like when the cards are so alike the normal cards, because you basically need to get a jeweler's loop and take a look at these cards to figure it out. We're also going to try and weigh them and stuff like that. So we'll see if we can tell which ones are fake and which ones are real. Now, I'm not against proxying, but I don't like cards that are this alike. I think these could easily end up in a person's collection, and yeah, that would not be very good. So, which ones do you think it is? Which one do you think are fakes, and which ones are the real deal? So let's try and do some tests, and I think I'm gonna start with weighing the cards. So out here, and let's just start with the 100 Rich, because that one is quite easy to tell which one is the fake. Let's try and weigh it and see where do we land. 188, that is too much. But then again, this test is not perfect. And we have 172, that is perfect. And that's also what you would expect, because if you take a closer look at this one already has a flaw. And so the guy who made this fake card, for some reason, there is that flaw in it. Not really sure why, but if you look at everything else, you can look at the symbols down here at the bottom. The shimmer, or whatever we can call it, is a bit different, but it's still very, very hard to tell. Actually, the real one looks a little bit weird to me on this. So, and this is a card I got pack fresh, so it's not all the cards that are real are cards I got from a pack, which I've opened myself. That's also why I chose these. I chose cards that I'm probably not going to play with, so I don't start up using them as proxies. Or as real Magic cards, so I don't get confused if I one day sell my collection. I want these outside of my normal collection, so yeah, no mistakes are made. If you look at the backs, there is a difference in the coloring. You see this up here is way more matte, and this has more of a green or brownish tint to it. So I don't think it's really clear on the camera, but in real life it's not. And I can tell you, so this one bends a little bit more easily, but with the differences in the cardstock from Japanese cards and American cards and so on, yeah, I wouldn't be able to. You can feel it if you know it, but it's yeah, okay, this one does feel a bit odd. So I'm just I'm a little bit shocked how hard it is to tell. Now, the easiest way to tell is to do the green dot test. And I don't know, I'm just going to sleeve this up if I'm going to do that, because I might scratch it with the microscope that I have here. And I don't know if I can get it on camera. I'll try and see. Just give me a second just to find it and focus on it and so on. So, see if you can see this. In the shot, I'm going to put up a picture instead to the left. In short, there simply is no red dot. It's not possible to see because it's not there. It's off light. Don't know if you could just see that for a second there. If you could just see that, there basically are no red dots. So it does not pass the red dot test, it weighs too much. But other than that, this is it's very hard to tell the difference. There's the small scratch, which really gives it away. That's at least how I can tell. But there is something about how it shines as well. But it's very much the same. The coloring, yes, there is something on the coloring. But yeah. And this is a black light. So this is ultraviolet. Let's see how it shines on that. I'm just gonna turn off some light here. And then let's shine with this. So it's pretty much the same. Yeah. That's not a dead giveaway either. Bottom one reflects more. That's the real, or reflects here. Does that really reflect more? Let me just try one more time. So this is the bottom one. No, it's the same. There's not really much difference there. If you have a 5th edition alternate, you can really see the difference in all that. I show that in one of my other videos. So weight is different. Fails the red dot test. It also fails the I like to look at the T in the gathering. It also fails that one. Then we get to this Elisnorn here, and this one I'm actually having a hard time telling which is which is my real magic card and which one is the fake. I mean, I know there's not a lot of color. There's not a lot of color difference here, and there's not a lot of color in general on these cards. But there's just almost, whoops, sorry, I hit the camera. It's just no difference. And you can easily mix those up. So what are we going to look at here? We could look at the symbols down here, and they are very faint on the bottom one. But still, so it's like you can sort of see the board all the time, which you're not meant to. So that's a giveaway for that being the fake. And that's almost the only thing I've seen on this card. I have looked at the symbol over here under a loop, and you can tell that the rosettes are wrong. But again, it's really hard to tell. You can, if you look at the sticker down here under a microscope, I don't know if I can get that. I'll put them on the side over here so you can see it. I'm not gonna attempt again to show it on with the camera here. You will see that the one from the fake is much more worn out. It has many more holes in it, and it just looks worse. And you also see that in the authentic holo, you see some stripes going across as well. Can't remember which way they go, and you will not be able to pick that up in the fake one. Touching these holos, so that's another thing. I'm just not gonna unsleeve those Elisnorns. See, this one is a little bit different because you cannot at all times see the holos in the fake one on this. But you cannot you can feel on both of them that there's a little, so on the real one you can feel it goes down a little bit into the card, but you can also feel that a little bit on the fake one. So what I've heard about some very bad fakes, is that scratched? It's just the rocks in the background. Is that you could sort of scratch this off, that this was just a sticker, but this is into the card on this. And see the real one looks fake, right? Because it's like missing a bit of the hollow, it seems like. So it's very hard to tell, honestly, which is which, and especially for this Elisnorn. The only thing I've seen here is the sticker, which is off, because it shows those round, I'm just gonna call them bells, at all times for the bottom one, which is the fake one. And you can look at the rosettes out here in the white, and there's usually some big teal and purple dots in there, and they are almost not there on the fake one. But again, it's really hard to tell. Let's look at the Revel in Riches, and let's just try. So all these are bought from the same place. I did some research and asked the scholars. I didn't ask the scholars of Reddit. I just looked at some Reddit posts and found this dude who makes these. Oh, this one. Both of them are within range. Now this isn't the best weight in the world. Okay, it's not a good weight, to be honest. So here they are actually identical in weight almost. They both passed that test. Let's look at the hollow at the bottom. Seems like that is always showing. You see the coloring is way off. But yeah, I would actually have to look at them under a microscope in order to determine it. I haven't really, there's something here. I've never played with the Revel in Riches. I've drafted it once, sleeved it immediately, and that's it. So is Revel in Riches, is that normally blue in the background, or is it purple? This top one up here seems to be some lines across or something like that. But I'm just going to sleeve this one up, and then I'm going to take a look at it. How does it look under the microscope? And I think let's take a look at the T this time, to see how that looks, because that's also a giveaway. And I'll put on the side which one is, as you can hear, I'm having a hard time. This one seems to be fake to me. I'll just sleeve off the other one as well. This is the one that is more bluish and looks better surface wise. So I think this one is probably not that of a good fake. Oh, good. It's a good proxy. There's no good fakes in my opinion. Yeah, this one has the correct rosette patterns. Yeah, this is the real card. So the blue one is the real one, and the purple one is the fake one. But you wouldn't be able to tell, right? If you have looked a long time at Revel in Riches, you can see it in the colors, but you wouldn't see it immediately. This is probably one of the worst fakes that I got. And I'll just put that at the bottom, because maybe you've guessed it by now, but the bottom ones are all the fakes, and the top ones, unless I switch these two around. Let's just see if I did. I did. Let's just be 100% sure. Yeah, I believe this is the real one, and this down here is the fake one. So I don't mind proxies. Yeah, that's definitely the fake one. But this one, it is so hard for me to tell which is which. It is so hard for me to tell. Which is a bit scary, right? That, what's that on the card? Which is so scary because I would do the red dot test. You can see the shine on this is different than from a normal magic card, but again, yeah, there's not. It's hard to tell, right? I mean, it looks quite good. This cardstock I can feel is off. You of course cannot feel that on watching this. It doesn't weigh that much. I think it has to be 172, but yeah, it's not a. None of the tests are perfect, and you might be wondering, what about the light test? So I am back with a flashlight, and let's take a look at this one first. Almost no light coming through. Whoops, sorry for blinding you there. Much more light coming through. You should be able to see magic and all that. You can see the text in the background, right? Let's just go back to this one. Yeah, there's no light coming through. And let's try this other fake here. It's the same, so there's no light coming through that one. Okay, so maybe that's what I should have done with the Lesnons. I don't know, they're in the sleeve now, so I don't know if a little bit of light coming through the fake one. But and I was about to say I cannot see the magic text, but that's, I hit the camera. That makes sense, right? Because there's none. This one goes much more through, like it should. So yeah, okay. This is actually quite a good test for fake cards. So the light test on these ones is pretty good, and that's why I need to use more than one test, because looking at the rosettes, this one up here should also be real. You can see the magic. You just get that on camera, you can see all the letters here, the big M from magic. I should have called this the bad signal test or something like that. See, there's no light coming through, it's just dark. Yeah, I'm pressing it pretty hard against. It might just come through. So yeah, probably should have started there. So the light test definitely gives it away. Weighing it, maybe, but that is also prone to errors from newer cards. I think I have up here, and I'm going to save these for another time, but I have this Optimus Prime up here, and as far as I remember, he weighs way more than he should, and he's some weird Secret Lair edition card. And see, I mean, he's also foil, so yeah, weighs a lot, and he feels all wrong as well. But he's a real card. Yeah. So sometimes you get that. All right. So far we've gone through the Haunted Ridge, which had a little error on it, and then it weighted. The weight was off with the fake one. It weighed too much. We could also look at the red dot test, and that showed that there are no red dots, and it means it's a fake, and the T also looks weird. For Elisnon, so okay, all of these failed the light test. So for Elisnon, there is something about the hollow down here, where it's always the sides. Don't know if I can get that. Yeah, like that. It's always showing like this bell sort of pattern, and that's a giveaway. That's also a fake, And if you look in here in the symbol, and I'll put something on the side of this video because it's just too hard to get on camera. The colors are a bit off, but it's not that giveaway. If you look at the white out here, you can really see the rosettes look really, really odd. But again, you need to know what to look for on that one. The blood letter here, actually him we haven't looked too much at. So Revenant Riches, the coloring is off. And you could almost see it on the card that there is something in those clouds right there in the white stuff. You can see some lines going across, which you cannot see on the authentic one. It's just, can I get some? Yeah, you can see them a little bit, but they're not really lines. I think it's just how it's seen, because there shouldn't be any. See, it looks a bit weird. At least it does to me. Then there's the blood letter. Yeah, it's the same thing coloring wise. Colors are much more matte on the fake one. And again, it seems less crisp. Again, you're not going to notice that at a distance. But up close, it feels like there's some lines across it. Whoops, I'll just stop shaking the camera. Okay, there we go. Seems like there's some lines across it. And yeah, it seems more blurry as well. Let's just take a look at the holo stamp down here. So that doesn't look too bad to me. No, it doesn't look too bad to me. Only one of them is sort of shining up, so that looks weird. The side ones, the Planeswalker symbols in the side, it's like they're not really foiled the same way. And I'll try to take some pictures of what these look, because the fake one looks much more worn out. Actually, it was the real one I just bashed for the Planeswalker symbols. So maybe that's just how it is. There's some line going through the holo stamp on the fake one. Yeah, that was the fake one. The top one is the fake one. Yeah, some line going through it. But this holo stamp down here, I've seen so many different variations of it. I normally don't really look at it. The backs, not much difference, right? I mean, you can see it on the camera, but I wonder if there's anything like with the sides of the card or something like that. Can I get that focused anyway? It's too blurry for you guys. But it does seem like the bottom one, there you can see just at the edge of the card. It's like it's two pieces of cardboard put together. Rather than the other one, it's much more, it's just one piece. I wish I could get, yeah, there you see it. See that? You just saw that for a second. It's that white line through it. The bottom card here, whoops, which is the fake card. So yeah, that's you can see on the side that there's just this black line in the white, like two things have been put together. I'm really trying to use the holo stamp down here, but unless it's on the camera, I cannot tell how it should look like and so on. I mean, I guess it reflects more of the symbols at the same time. And for the fake ones, it's more like the whole thing lights up, all of them at the same time. it's, see here, different symbols light up at different angles. Here it's more like all or none. But yeah, that's the most I've gotten out of that. So we tried the light test. That one gives it away, definitely. I showed you some of it under a microscope. That also tells you a lot. The black light didn't make any difference for these. That's how it is. Some of them weighed too much. So in short, whenever you get new cards, do different tests. The light test is super easy to conduct. Just put some light through it, see if you can see the magic letters on the back of the card through it. You should be able to do that. If you have an authentic card, you can of course take a look at that and compare it. That's a really good way to do it. Then you can weigh it. That has some problems sometimes, but if it weighs like 200, you know it's fake, unless it's one of the special edition cards. So the Cosmium Neon Ink cards. So if it's foil, very hard to use that. And then at the end you can use a microscope or jeweler's loupe to look for red dot tests. You can look at the T on the back side. God, there's no T on that one. You can look at the T on the back side here in the gathering. You can also take a look at some of the mana symbols and some of the text and so on. See, are there any rosettes on top? I didn't actually find that with these. Yeah, it also seems cut a little bit weird. Yeah, and I think that's all the tests you should do. And I hope this video was worth watching. I for one found it a lot of fun to take a look at some of these fake cards, and I'm sorry if if you take offense to me calling them fake cards, but I really think if they are proxies, there should be some way to easily tell. I mean, give them a different background, or put something down the corner, or different border on the back, on the back, or something, just to say this is not a real Magic card. I'm not against at all people buying a proxy for a card that costs like $10 or euros, because some people just want to enjoy the game and play it. And I can see 50 euros in cards is going to be way too expensive, especially if you need 4 of them for standard. Yeah, so at the end of the day, you should be able to tell that it's a proxy quite easily. Else I will come fake, and they could end up in circulation. We don't want that. And what this video is showing is that it's very hard to tell. You really need to know what to look for. And I guess that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. See you around. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I only have 4 subscribers, so I'd like to get to 5 someday. Thank you very much. See you.